Greetings dear listeners and spectators, a very warm welcome to episode 3 of Megrow's A-Rock podcast. I pick up the topic trail today where I left it at the end of episode 2 that I published earlier this year. Back in episode 2, I scratched on the importance of making enterprise risk management a tangible benefit to any business. The episode today, I will elaborate substantially more on this topic and most importantly, share some examples to illustrate my point. I start with a slide that is a core part of Megrow's marketing materials since almost day one of the company. When I show this slide to colleagues and clients, their reactions are always very positive. Everybody seems to see the message of the benefits to business right away. Actually, some people tell me that the looks of the slide is borderline childish and inappropriate for business. However, the many spontaneous, eyes wide open, positive reactions I got and keep getting from different audiences convince me that it is a good slide. Hence, it keeps its important spot in many of my presentations. Having said that, as I keep acquiring and completing more mandates, I gave it a good second or third look and decided to overhaul it, give it a more focus and a slightly more polished look. So here's the new version of the slide. The diverse, colourful head image stays there. It's the best representation of the variety of stakeholders that benefit from good enterprise risk management. However, for the updated version, I reduced the number of benefit boxes to keep it a bit more clear and condensed. Furthermore, I significantly enlarged that improved results box and put it right below the main image, simply to give it the importance it deserves. Okay, on to the real topic for now. For the next few minutes, I will focus on a few very tangible benefits of good enterprise risk management. The video comes with chapters, so if you're not interested in some of my considerations, just skip to the next chapter using the links in the description below. Let me start with the lever that enterprise risk management has on credit rating. I mostly refer to AM Best's credit rating approach because I'm most familiar with their method. Having said that, all credit rating agencies use similar ways to go about it. Credit rating is essentially the combination of balance sheet strength analysis and the number of adjustment factors to come up with the final rating. Enterprise risk management is a very crucial adjustment factor to derive it. Let me explain why. AM Best, for instance, increases their assessment by 1 notch for a very, very good, leading, outstanding enterprise risk management approach. And more importantly, it lowers their rating by up to 4 notches for an inexistent enterprise risk management approach. Minus 4 notches, that is very, very significant. In other words, it pays off greatly to be at the good practice level for ERM. The other end of the scale, it is almost devastating to have substandard ERM output. It's very important to note that the average standard of risk maturity keeps moving up everywhere in the world. So it's important for everybody to keep up with that pace. So specifically, what are the benefits of this? Number 1, higher credit rating means access to additional business, hence higher profits. Furthermore, a higher credit rating also lowers financing costs for a company. And if in reverse, a lowered credit rating closes some doors to business and makes access to some forms of capital more expensive. Hence, good ERM translates 1 and 1 to improved profit. I'm very grateful to the CEO of a customer who literally lifted me onto the second benefit I want to highlight in this episode. During this mandate, the senior management team and I spend a lot of time compiling a good risk appetite statement. We managed to find a very sensible balance between some quantitative and a few selective qualitative statements. In other words, we managed to define a tangible yet flexible enough risk appetite description how the company will evaluate the up and the downside risks of some of their major strategic endeavors against their own perception of risk. I was very happy with that outcome. Having said that, the icing on the cake was when the CEO shared something with me after the company's next board meeting. According to the CEO, the revised risk appetite statement made the communication with the board of directors so much more tangible, faster, efficient and easier. The bottom line, a significantly more efficient board of directors meeting. On to the final point of today's episode. The risk landscape is continuously evolving. Most risks are more interconnected and more challenging to mitigate than ever before. The entire realm of cyber risk is a prime example for this. Exposures are interlinked, severity and frequency is sometimes difficult to estimate, and a plethora of mitigating efforts has to be deployed. ERM, with its company-wide, consistent approach to identify and mitigate risk, is the best tool to up the defense for a company. If we turn this around, it is also best suited to help any company finding additional business opportunities in the cyber realm by, for example, advising their own customers about managing cyber risk. So in today's episode, I shared some very tangible and measurable benefits that good enterprise risk management brings to any organization. In case you have questions how to reap those benefits, visit www.megrow.asia or contact me via the links embedded in the show notes below. Thank you very much for listening and watching. In the meantime, enjoy whatever you are doing and stay tuned for the next episode of Megrow's AROC podcast. Bye for now.